Everything these days has become so ridiculously competitive that it has just sucked the soul out of everything that you do. I was watching a video the other day about how youth sports has gotten so out of control that parents are now spending hundreds of thousands of dollars sending their kids to these sports camps that are all owned by private equity so that just so their kid can maybe become like some famous NFL, NBA, MLB, some major sports ball star and bring fame and wealth to the family. It's becoming truly ridiculous how much of a racket this has become just because these corporations are selling parents a dream of their child. And they know that these parents are going to spend whatever amount of money possible, even though there's like a 0.0000001% chance that their kid actually become some kind of famous sports star. And that's not even counting the fact that maybe their kid doesn't even want to be into making their kid baseball or basketball star. And now their kid is like, you know what? I don't really want to do this shit because you're a kid, man. You're still growing up. You're still exploring your interests. But this is where we've come as a society. Like, I'm glad when I was a kid and I was interested in baseball. I just don't, my parents just signed me up for a little league, and then I got to go to practice, and then I got to play a few games with a bunch of other kids. And, I had an amazing time. I didn't give a shit about becoming a sports star or anything like that. I was just there for the moment. And the difference between that and now is that now it's become this pipeline where parents are expected to fork over tens of thousands of dollars so their kid can have the slightest edge over the competition. Everything has become this means to an end, right? And youth sports is just the epitome of this, but it's not the only thing. I just like using it as an example because it used to be that people who are very passionate about, let's say, football or basketball, even if they were from like a poor family background, if they had the passion, they could have a great time playing their sport. And then, they have a shot in the NFL or NBA or one of these organizations. But now it's become a situation where it's pay to win, where the only people that really succeed in these fields are kids whose parents could afford to send them to these camps or these training sessions. And so it's destroying this idea that anybody can rise through the ranks just through passion and merit alone. Because when I was playing baseball at a young age, I didn't see it as some means to an end. Like, I'm doing this for my future. I'm doing this so I can be better than the competition and I can get drafted and I could become like a famous baseball player in the MLB. Like, I was just a kid who liked playing baseball, and that was it. I was just focused on, improving my batting, improving I don't know, like, bro, it's been too long. Improving my ability to throw strikes and things like that. I really just lived for the moment. And during the games, I was just very present with my team. I was just focused on, okay, let's win this game and that's it. But it wasn't really that big of a deal. It wasn't like if I lost a game, that was the end of my future or that my parents would lose a bunch of money or anything like that. And that's the fundamental difference between when I was growing up and the way things seem to be today. Everything these days seems to be just a means to an end, man. But it's like that end never comes because I forgot where I read this, but your life is what happens when you are anticipating something else or when you are working towards some end goal. So the point is, like, definitely have your goals, definitely work towards them, but be present for the journey. And the unfortunate thing is, I think this is only going to spread into other sectors of society. So to get an understanding of what I'm trying to say, we kind of have to look to South Korea because South Korea seems to be this canary in the coal mine of where Western society is heading. And look, no disrespect to South Korea, but it's sort of seen as this embodiment of hyper competitive capitalism that seems to be the endpoint, the logical conclusion of this wider trend in the United States, in parts of Europe, and really just the Western world in general. Because there, it's no longer enough to get straight A's on all of your test scores. Now it's like you have to get 15 extracurricular activities. You need all of these different badges and you need all of these people have optimized their resumes so much that now employers are just looking for whoever looks the best. And it's creating this arms race where everyone is getting plastic surgery. I think I even read the story about this girl whose parents gave her plastic surgery as a graduation gift because this is just what the employers are looking for.